Give our runners a nice hand. Oh, a nice young runner.
So in 2014, the New York Attorney General and the three major repositories entered into an agreement called the National Consumer Protection Plan. And that plan was going to be rolled out over 3 years. In July of 2017, that plan is going to be fully implemented. And it's going to have major implications on people's credit report. One of the things that it addressed was when people were getting traffic fines or library overdue notices, those things were showing up on credit reports. And the New York Attorney General felt like that wasn't really a debtor obligation, so it really shouldn't be on a credit report. So in 2016, the repository sent out a cease and desist order to all of the collection companies, telling them not to report that type of debt any longer. The other big news is that medical debt will now be held for 180 days before it's reported to the repository. This will give people plenty of time to work out insurance disputes before things start to show up on their credit report. They also announced that the repositories would be beefing up the dispute departments with more staff to better handle disputes. We'll see on that one. And also, if you pulled a free credit report and you found an error, they were going to give you another free credit report to validate that that error had been corrected. But just recently, they made a huge announcement on public record. The trade organization for the credit bureaus issued a letter that said that public records were no longer going to be able to be reported without the key 4 identifying factors. So that does not mean that all public record is going away. It just means that the information that does not meet the minimum standard will no longer be reported. And I would expect the townships and repositories to come together fairly quickly on resolving how this information is being reported versus what's actually available out there to the general public. Now, in the meantime, some of the credit bureaus are trying to add additional databases like LexisNexis to the credit file, and I think that that's just going to create more problems because you're substituting one inaccurate set of data for another one. LexisNexis is not really reliable. The consumer can actually block their file, and just not a great source of information. But overall, a huge win for consumers, much more accurate information moving forward on credit reports. I think that's very important. As always, it's important for the consumer to disclose any debt when they're applying for a loan. This is on the consumer, not the lender. The lender is going to do everything they can to validate what the consumer says and investigate as much as they can. But if they can't ultimately find anything, and there is something out there that the consumer knew about, well, that means that the consumer could be prosecuted for that, and that's how it should be. Do me a favor, share this out as much as you can. Let's get the word out. July 2017, everything goes into effect. It's going to be huge. I'm going to have links down below for all of the information that I talked about here. And the new book is coming out shortly. Watch the website, thecreditguy.tv, for an announcement on that. And you, with a little bit of me, we're going to change the credit industry. Thank you.